Welcome back to Casheezi Park. This match between Redland and Southport. A very intriguing match so far. It's been back and forth all day. Interestingly enough, the leader of each quarter has been at the right of screen. So Redland kicking that way this last quarter. They're very strong finishers typically. We've got a very good match in our hands here.
We do indeed, Will. I've just got some scores from around the ground. Three-quarter time score over at Aspley. Aspley Hornets 14-8-92 lead the Brisbane Lions 9-6-54. Full-time result from Sydney. The Swans were 100-point winners over the Gold Coast. East Lakes held a 5-point halftime lead over Sydney University, and Queanbeyan 11-11-77 lead Falcon 5-5-35.
Meanwhile, this is the match you want to be watching. Scott wins the first clearance, out into space. Pfeiffer runs onto it, handball's back. He's got Damien Stephen. He bangs it inside 50. Mills underneath that, couldn't get a spoil. Ball hits the deck. Southport relieving kick, but Smith is there. Smith can mop it up. Oh, he's broken the tackle brilliantly. He's got heaps of numbers. Oh, brilliantly chopped off there by Geary. Geary's had a good second half. Now it opens up for Southport. Collison. Brewer, back inside to Wells. Wells to a dangerous position. Oh, nearly a one-hander. Pope on the left. Gonna go to empty space. This is Hill now. On the right, plenty of height, but not enough. Curl on that one. It had dodgy shape on it actually, did it, the kick from Hill.
And just noticed one change already from Greg Seaton-Lonsdale. Luke Rogerson, who spent the majority of the day behind the footy, has now moved forward and he's matched up by Todd Grayson.
So now it's a 10-point margin to Southport. Redland, oh, lucky with that one. Baxter's there. Salter picks it up. Williams, tackled strongly by Geary. Williams in trouble. Just gets a handball away. Here's Hunter. Hunter finds Scott. Scott to space, and that's going to travel over before Salty can get his hands on it.
It's been one of the biggest changes in the game, hasn't it? Southport's defensive pressure on the way out of their forward 50. Probably that little patch at the back end of the second quarter, Redland were able to run it out without too many troubles. But Southport doing a lot of defensive work up forward now.
Brewer can't
Probably
get his hands on it.
keep his feet there. He went to ground a bit too easily.
Another strong tackle. That one's by Salter.
It's been an absolute feature, hasn't it? Contest after contest, and players from both teams laying a lot of tackles today. It's been a really super accountable game of football.
I think that's testament to the coaching from both sides as well. Two very good coaches in Matt Angus and Greg Seaton-Lonsdale.
Collison can run onto this one, but it's been met by Redlands. But here we go. Pope's going to have a shot. Pope puts it through the middle. That's a significant goal to start this last quarter. He takes it out to a 16-point margin. Gives his opponent a shove for his troubles.
And that's what you get from Pope, just that super ability and work rate. He covers the ground so well and obviously finished off very nicely there.
Well done.
Nice little luxury now for Matty Angus to be able to throw Fraser Pope forward. And he's had a really big day on the stat sheet. That was his 24th possession, Will, and his first goal for the day. So for Matty Angus to be able to throw a player like Fraser Pope forward and get a result straight away is a really good one.
He's also had 5 clearances, 5 inside 50, so it's Fraser Pope. It's been a good day out for him. Redland are going to win this clearance through Stephen. Rogerson's there, as you said, Liam. Thrown forward, but I don't think met as far as Grayson. They win this one back. Here we go. Here's Brewer. He might have a shot for goal from here. 45 out. Brewer across the face. That would have been a big finish from Brewer. They want to get the crowd back into it here to Redland because they don't want to let it slip away from them. It's crept out to a 15-point lead.
There's a nice balanced kick on the run too, Blake Brewer, isn't he? He sort of steadies himself and just didn't quite find the target.
Headland. Big kick outside 50, and that is met beautifully by Shreve.
Shreve's had a good game as well, I think.
Oh, and then he does that to you. But he's done brilliantly there, has Shreve. Sells a fake handball.
That was the old set play, I think, kicking to the man on the mark, get the ball back.
Yep.
Wells, he's found Goldsmith. Shreve's kept running for him. Pope's there as well. A couple players presenting, but Goldsmith just elects to go long. Hill, can't take the mark. Well spoiled. Salter, met by a strong tackle.
Lovett did really well to leave his direct opponent there, and he came third man up and killed the contest, which is ultra important in the back line.
Yeah, they've been prepared to do that, haven't they? Both Williams at times and now this time and Lovett. Been a tough day for the key forwards, hasn't it? Luke Scott's only had the 6 touches, and I think Jake Goldsmith also has only had 6.
Here's another shot for Pope. And that's going to travel out of bounds on the full.
Always tough one to snap for a right footer there, swinging away from the goals when it leaves your boot. So Fraser Pope is creating a few headaches though. He's getting his hands on the ball, so it's only a matter of time before he cashes in.
Smith decides to play on. Handballs to Howard, back to Smith.
That's a
and he's
super
got a free
kick.
man in Lovett. Lovett's got plenty of space here, but he's been chased well. And I think there's enough pressure there to put it at the feet of Merritt. Scott couldn't do anything with it, but Scott's still there. Scott picks it up, doubles back. He can swing around on his right foot now to the hot spot. Here's Big Brennan, taps it. Well met there by Rogerson. Southport work it out of defence. Grayson to McKenzie. Tackled high. Oh, intercepted by Brewer. Handballs out to Rogerson on the left. Rogerson. Oh, he's hit the post. That would have been a defining goal in this contest.
What about Blake Brewer's intercept? He's a very good player, isn't he? He just reads it well. When he gets his hands on it, sets blokes up into good scoring opportunities.
He just provides that real X factor in the Redland side. He's just pacey and...
Before you know it, they've kicked 9-10, have Redland. We were talking about how accurate they've been early on in this game, but it's really hurt them later in this contest. Chippy little kick. And we're back inside. They're going to go inside 50 here. That's a good kick to Pfeiffer, and he takes that. Pfeiffer plays on. Oh, was that the right option? He's got Estel on the goal line, and he'll take the mark. But it's not the simplest kick in the world. Reece Estel has had a bit of the yips today.
And Pfeiffer nearly undid all that great work from Smith. I mean, how was that for a kick from...
Righto, Liam. Shot for goal or pass to Estel?
I'd take the shot personally.
Yeah, that was... well, what was he thinking? I'm sure he was having a shot at goal, but it didn't quite hit it well.
Oh,
Squeezed
but
it
I think
in.
he squeezed it through. Reece Estel, and that has made this game very interesting. Redland finally get their first goal of the quarter, taking them 10-10-70, just behind Southport, 11-12-78. It's an 8-point margin.
It's a great game of footy.
I think the move from St Lonsdale to get both Rogerson and Brewer forward of the footy, where their foot skills can be most damaging, has been really important to start this last quarter. And someone like Josh Smith, he's just so crucial to Redlands. When you get the ball in his hands, you know 90% of the time you're going to get the next disposal.
Yep.
And we've just seen 2 super kicks from him, one on his left and one on his right.
It'll boil down to opportunities, won't it? If they can create enough through the middle of the ground, get a few clearances happening, the likes of Pfeiffer and Brewer and Estel and those sorts, and even Brad Howard down there in the forward line, are going to make life difficult for Southport.
That was a throw, and the umpire saw it.
Wow, you're all over it.
It was fair enough. So that's a good kick there by Salter. He's found the lead of Hill. Hill, an average little kick. That's going to be intercepted. Not quite a mark. Plenty of pressure here from Southport.
Might be in trouble here, Tom Michael.
Oh. It wouldn't have gone against the grain from what we've seen today. There's been plenty of them.
I think Goldsmith just led fractionally early, then he put the pressure on Hill and he wasn't able to keep it down off one step, just put it over his head.
Goldsmith wins the tap to Geary, back to Pope on his left. Oh, and that bounced across the face as well. So he's had a couple of flying shots like that this quarter, Pope. Only for one goal.
If I was playing on Fraser Pope right now, I'd be very, very close to him. He's just getting too much space around those forward line stoppages, and he's not the one that you want to let free.
Well, just early on in this quarter, it's starting to look like the experience is starting to shine through Pfeiffer and Pope and players like that. Brennan. Was he tackled high, Goldsmith? Umpire says no. Dumped in the tackle. Pass field. Just hooks it onto the right. Hoping for anyone to get underneath it. Thompson's there. Oh, that's a big contest. Everyone's gotten up from there. Good hands there. And Redland should be able to rebound this one comfortably. Cast. Down the line. Oh, that's a great mark by Wade Mills. So Headland wants it. Headland's there as the safe option. But he goes longer. Mills to a big contest. There's Brennan. Oh, one or the other. Mark's going to go down to Williams, Adrian Williams. Hunter had plenty on it as well. So Williams, he's got Godfrey if he wants him.
It's just
Oh, he's run himself into plenty of danger. And there's a high tackle. Is it going to be downfield? No, it's going to go back. I still can't believe it.
It's just that stagnant ball movement you talked about in the last quarter, though, that's really hurting Redlands at the moment. They're stationary, kicking the stationary targets, and just not moving the ball as we know Redlands can at the moment.
Well, you're right there. They're very lucky. Williams played on when he shouldn't have.
I think they've got enough runners, Liam. They're just, as you say, they're not actually getting the ball in the right hands. This fella here will get things moving, but Southport pressing really well. Not a lot on.
Josh Smith, 29 touches last week. He's been very good today. Back to Smith from Cass. Smith, like you said, he's one that's... Oh!
Just no awareness.
How is that not holding the ball? Unbelievable umpire. Cass gets it to Reese. But this tackling pressure from Southport has been something else. Couple of hands. Godfrey, he's there. Pass field. Burton's got his hands on it. It's going to be a ball up. High tackle, says the umpire, who was 40 metres away from the action. So that's going to be Passfield's free kick, I believe. Unless he pointed in the wrong direction. Yeah, he did. He pointed the wrong way, so it's Burton's free kick. Must say, I didn't see that free kick there. Burton. Oh, how's that for a strong mark inside 50 to Goldsmith?
It's just that extra reach he has. He was able to get clear of his opponent with those hands. No chance for the spoil there. Super strong hands.
Just before Jake Goldsmith lines up here, 10-minute mark in the last quarter at Graham Road, and Aspley's 10-7-67, trailing the Brisbane Lions 14-10-94. So that's probably not the way we thought that result was going to go, but Aspley's still in touch.
Goldsmith, 10 minutes into the last quarter here to give Southport a big lead. It's coming back and it does enough. So that's a goal to Goldsmith. 14-point margin now. I feel like Redland really need the next goal. Still not sure about that free kick against Passfield. I don't quite know if I saw it.
Might have to back the umpire in there. He probably had a better view of it than we do.
It wasn't the controlling umpire though, which was surprising. He called a ball up and the umpire from the other end of the ground decided he saw a hand on his shoulder, so we'll give him benefit of the doubt. As Goldsmith kicks his first goal this last quarter, his first goal for the day, in fact. So they've had a really good spread. Redland 10-10-70, trail Southport 12-12-84, 10 minutes into the last quarter. Brewer wins the tap. Godfrey gets on the end of it. That's another strong tackle by Southport. We'll have another ball up.
And it's a big ask. They've thrown young Tom Michael in his first game into the ruck against Mitch Brewer, which will be interesting to see how that one works out. He won the hit out there, though.
Yeah, he did win a good hit out, but only to Burge. Burge, the captain. He's had a good game in the midfield. That had to be a high tackle. Umpire lets it go. Redland have the runners here. Cass is on. Godfrey decides to go himself. Merritt's trying to get back. Estill can't take them up, but here's Brewer outside of the foot. Brewer puts it through. Tit for tat, eye for an eye, going back and forth. This is a great game of football. And so far this last quarter's living up to everything we hoped it would be.
But how many times do you see that the guy who waits down over the back, just that ball that comes off the hands, he read it beautifully, ran into an open goal.
Yeah, spot on, Liam. I reckon, what do you think the breeze is doing? It's just picked up slightly again, and it's probably worth a goal, and that Blake Brewer's in the right spot there. Just had enough carry on it, that kick, just to flick the hands. And, smart play, really, at the end of the day, just to judge the flight of the ball and know that it was going to come off the back of the pack.
He is an intelligent player. He always seems to find himself in the right place. He's probably been my best for Redland so far with 24 touches and now a goal. So back to an 8-point margin. Reese wins this one down. Could have been in the back. Slight infringement. Play on, says the umpire. Couple of hands. Sondergeld. Here we go. Godfrey. Met by a strong tackle by Haslam, but he got him over the shoulder. Haslam with an undisciplined tackle.
And how's that from Tommy Michael? He jumped all over Brewer then, just got the ball going.
I was just going to say, you've got an 18-year-old out there in the ruck who's jumped straight over the top of a 120-kilo giant in Mitch Brewer and got the ball running forward. But umpire had a really good look at that. He had a good view. and notice that Sam Haslam had just got a little bit high on Godfrey there. So this is a very, very important kick, Will.
Oh, massive kick for Sam Godfrey. The late inclusion for Cleve Hughes. They'd love a goal from him. And he delivers. He delivers for the Redland faithful. Back to a 2-point margin. What a game. 12-10, 82 to 12-12, 84.
Well, they're hanging in there, aren't they? We know that both teams have really improved their running capacity. There's no doubt about that, what we've seen in the pre-season. And if anything, I've sort of put it out there at half-time. I thought Redland might run harder at the end, but Southport are certainly working hard, and this game's an absolute cracker. Both teams are really, really working hard, and it's going to be, survival of the fittest, really.
I think we're seeing the benefit of the new streamlined NEAFL competition with both sides, a lot more strength in depth on their list.
So Brewers able to win that tap down, but
What about Matty Sondergaard in there? He's incredible, isn't he?
He's got the head tape.
He's got the head taped up and the ears taped up. He's
taped up like Rambo at the moment. Burge wins that one out. That's a free kick. It's going to Brad Reese. Oh, that is a criminal error from Brewer. Everything is going their way in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it's going to be all these little bits and pieces that you'll look back on, won't you, at the end of the game. If the result goes one way or the other, you'll be thinking, what if I had done that, or what if I hadn't given away that 50 or that clumsy free kick? It's going to be all those little bits and pieces.
And guess who's at the bottom of it? It's Brewer. That is a very good tackle by Burge. But Salter wins the kick. Wade Mills, he's in a bit of a desperate situation here. Redland are able to gather it through Rogerson. Pfeiffer now. Handball's back. Here we go. Another shot for goal. Where's this one going to go? Just wide, and Thompson is spewing.
And I don't know if you noticed, but when they had the free kick in the middle here, Tom Salter ran directly through the mark, just tempting his opponent to follow him.
Yeah. Clever, the experienced head of Salter. It's a 1-point game here at Casheezi Park. Kick out. That's the one that's going to travel over the boundary line, right in front of the interchange gates.
17 minutes gone too, guys, so it's getting to the business end, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a few goals so far, so it might be a similarly long quarter to the last one. Brewer with another tap. Sondergaard tackled very strongly there. Collison has been tackling strongly all day.
And the difference there, Matty Sondergaard, the arm was out whacking the ball, wasn't it? You know, it's he's probably dived on it no different to anyone else, but it at least gave the umpire the impression he was trying to get it moving.
It's a tough player to tackle, this Sondergaard. Not much height there to get your hands around. Brad Reese is taken high again. This is going to kill them, Southport, if they're going to keep giving away these free kicks. So Brad Reese has another chance to set up.
It was a bit of a sign of fatigue though, isn't it, Will? You know, late in the game.
Oh, speaking of which, he's turned it over to Hill, but Sondergaard might just be able to do enough. Dives in. Another contested ball, another stoppage.
How's that for Sondergaard again, just throwing his head in there. Never gives in.
Just have a look at his numbers. He doesn't get high possessions, but he's in there battling away. He's only had 9 touches for the day, but gee, he competes.
Oh, if we had 1%ers here, I dare say he'd be in front. Handball over the top dangerously. Keller can't get there. Passfield on the left, puts it inside 50. Oh, what a mark by Thompson.
He's hurt himself too, Will.
He's hurt a couple of people, I think. Oh, he was the last person I expected to take it. He's come from nowhere.
That's incredible courage, isn't it? A game in the balance, quick snap forward, and a bit of a chaotic ball coming in, and he's just dived across the front and taken a beautiful chest mark. Is he going to have enough? Has the head been beaten up that he can't compose himself to steady himself with a very important shot on goal?
So here's Matthew Thompson. A point is a draw. A goal puts them in front, which he does. It's a 5-point lead to Redland. We have another lead change. You alluded to it earlier on in the game, Craig. There's the slightest of breezes heading to this right-hand side, but it must be doing something because every single lead change has been at this end of the ground.
I don't know whether it's worth 7-2, Liam, to be honest, but we can definitely feel it up here in the box. But it seems to be the end of score out, Liam.
Yeah, it certainly does. Again, Redlands have had their opportunities and they've converted, and now they're back in front. There's still quite a bit of time to go though, so certainly not riding Southport off at all. And as we've seen, the game's certainly ebbed and flowed throughout.
This game is going to come right down to the wire. We're 20 minutes in. Still plenty of time to go. Brewer. That's a good handball to Sondergaard, tackled strongly by Geary. Who's this going to fall with? Pfeiffer nearly takes a great mark, but it still falls out the back. Estel doesn't get enough shape on it, and that's going to dribble over for a boundary throw-in, but a very dangerous position for Redland.
Always better than a point in that situation, isn't it? The boundary throw-in, but interesting numbers with the clearances. Another one there to Redland. They've had 41 to 32, so they're 9 up in the clearances. I reckon they've had probably the last 3 or 4, Liam, out of the middle.
Yeah, and you can just kind of feel in the crowd that the mood's changed. It's there's a real energy and a real buzz around Casheezi.
Sondergeld! Oh, he's kicked a screamer! If you don't mind Matthew Sondergeld outside of the boot from nowhere. What an absolute beauty. That is a significant goal, and it's an 11-point margin out of nowhere.
And as we mentioned before, Sondergeld hasn't had the impact possession-wise on the stat sheet, but just the little things he's done around the ground, the contest he's given, just his willingness to put the head over the footy. Happened again there. He won the clearance and kicked a great snap.
I reckon the little fella is one of those guys that you love to play with in your team. He seems like he energises. You know, they've got some better players, for want of a better word, around the middle of the ground there, but he definitely is one of those guys that provides some energy to the group, and he's certainly done that almost on his own in this last quarter.
It's just his presence, isn't it? Having him around the contest seems to give them a buzz. Southport should be able to win this clearance. They've got the numbers. No one's going to come away with that. Ball bobbles out. Lots of bodies there. And Southport really need the next to get them within striking distance. They're running out of time.
I think the other thing there too is Southport will be very conscious of Brad Reese and Blake Passfield and Blake Brewer and those sorts. Probably not Matty Sondergeld, to be honest. He's the one that slips outside the net a bit.
Oh, it's another free kick against Southport. This one again to Godfrey. He's popped up a bit in this last quarter. They almost have the luxury of being able to kick around and holding the football here, because an 11-point margin, it's getting rather dangerous. Reese breaks the tackle from Hill, puts it back inside 50, where it's been pretty much all of this quarter. It's a strong tackle. Could have been in the back. Umpire shows a bit of leniency. And we'll have a ball up.
Another ball up. Must be almost a record for ball ups today, I reckon. Yeah. But we've had 43 clearances to Redland and 33 to Southport. So well on top there.
And it's getting to the point in the match now where behinds are becoming significant, because if Redland get the next, it's 2 straight goals.
So 22 minutes gone. And remember this. All the work Redland have done forward has been on the back of no Cleve Hughes and no Daniel Zufa.
Obviously, here's Estel. That could ice it. That could ice the game, Reece Estel. The crowd goes up, the bench goes up, and he gets his 3rd goal on the board.
You just feel the difference in the game today has been at those crucial moments when a team's needed to take their chances. The team to do that's been Redland's, and I think that's why we see them now starting to create a bit of a lead here.
Now, are my eyes deceiving me there? Were there more Redland players forward of the stoppage there than Southport defenders?
I think you're right there, Craig.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a concern, particularly at this stage in the game. Just play more defensive. Certainly make sure you've got touch and feel, but don't let anyone out the forward side of a stoppage like that. Reece Estel, what's he had? 8 possessions for the game so far? 8 and kicked 3 goals. So there's the value of Reece Estel.
5 marks for 8 touches and 3 goals. It's not a bad output for a small amount of possessions. It's getting to the stuff of miracles now for Southport. They really need to kick one quickly here, because we're 25 minutes into the quarter. It might drag on tiny bit longer than your average quarter, but certainly not plenty of time to waste. The umpire spotted a free kick, and again it's to Redland. It's almost single-handedly killed them this quarter. They've given away too many free kicks. Passfield, he's got Godfrey free. Godfrey's got space, he can hit a target. Goes long to the corridor. That's a brilliant intercept mark by Merritt.
It's a great mark, isn't it?
It's what you can rely on him for. He's always getting his body into those positions.
Actually,
Mills.
Very much like his old man then, taking that one, to be honest.
That's a high tackle, and the umpire spotted it. No, he gestured for high tackle, but it must have already gone over the boundary line. No, he's giving it to Headland. So like I said, they need one quick. Here we go. Here's a bit of space for Southport. Bursting out of defence, handball over the top to Grayson. He can take a bounce here. Takes on the defender. This is brilliant work. Inside 50. Goldsmith's underneath it. Oh, how about that? What a great mark by Andrew Smith. Completely outbodied Goldsmith. Keller's going to have to get underneath this one. Big Brewer now. Oh, Pfeiffer's tackled him like a gem. Here we go. Jones got to run away with it. That's a great tackle by Keller. That should be holding the ball, and he gets rewarded. Crowd doesn't like it. Keller goes inboard. Here we go. Burge. He can take a bounce. Kicks it onto the chest.
That's a good kick.
That is a wonderful kick to Baxter.
What a great kick from Jason Burge. Late in the game, he's just cramping up there in the middle of the ground as well, but what an important bit of play that was, and a great tackle down here by Jake Keller.
It just required composure from Burge, and it requires composure now from Baxter. He has to kick this goal, and he has hooked it badly.
I think that sums it up, really.
Oh, that is a disappointing result.
They had that opportunity early in the game, didn't they, to put a really big margin on the scoreboard ahead of their opponents, but to Redland's credit, they've stayed in the game all day and given themselves a chance to compete late, and they're certainly running the game out beautifully.
And guess who? Matthew Sondergeld. He finds Jones again. Solid bump there by Keller, but Pfeiffer can't find him, goes out of bounds. Like you were saying last week, they got a very strong margin, Southport, on Aspley, and Aspley, in fact, outscored them for the rest of the game. This week, they couldn't find that fast start, and that is a poor turnover. Reese, back to Godfrey. He's been very prominent in this last quarter. Well, that's a bad turnover. Could have been a free kick. Oh, no. Merritt's turned it over by hand. Here we go. Pfeiffer. He might have a shot from here. Estel bounces through both of their legs, and Grayson can run away with it. Grayson.
It's under 26 minutes gone here. There's probably still 3 or 4 minutes to go, so last roll of the dice for Southport, and they've turned it over again.
And they needed to hit a target there, did Shreve. He's missed Geary, but it might just work out. Here we go. Here's a runner in Burge. Just gets a handball off before he's tackled. Geary picks it up. Haslam. Here's a chance. Left foot inside 50. Baxter's underneath it, but too many opponents there. And they're able to work that out comfortably. That's a dangerous kick though. Wells. They know they've got to move it quickly. Here's Keller. Who can he find? They've got Brewer in long. He's got the big body. He might just be a chance. He's got Goldsmith. Oh no, and Goldsmith went to ground. So this will be easy for Redland to work out. Passfield to Cass. He's got Reese. Just the experienced heads combining here. Jones. Good tackle though. Keller needs to hit a target, and he does. Baxter, he needs to turn around and have a shot. Needs to have a shot. Baxter, he's hooked it once again.
He's had 5 or 6 shots a goal today and only kicked 2. I think it's an area that Southport will look back at the tape and they'll rue the fact that they've missed quite a few quality opportunities.
So it's a 16-point margin, about 28 minutes into this last quarter. And you think that's just about it for Redland. They've done enough in this last quarter. They've been very impressive. Williams. Good kick inboard. Finds Jones. Out wide to Sondergeld. Good tackle. Good there, spoil there by Keller. He's giving it everything on this wing here in the dying minutes of this match.
That's Andrew Scott there, who's leading possession winner for Redland today with 28. He's just been tireless, just been really working hard through the midfield.
Brewer wins the tap. Oh no, he grabs it out of thin air. And now Godfrey can run away with it. How good's Godfrey been in this last quarter? Stephen puts it long. Estel can't take the mark. Breaks a couple of tackles. Here's Rogerson. Ducks underneath. Blind handball over the top. Godfrey can't get a fist on it. That's a strong tackle by Scott. But Shreve's able to run away with it. Rogerson in pursuit. Salter trying to break the Shepherd. That's gone out of bounds.
I think after half-time we've seen a couple of key Southport contributors be down a bit. Shreve had a great start to the game, but apart from that touch there, I haven't seen much of him in the last quarter. And Headland, who's normally so prolific off the half-back line, has struggled to have an impact as well.
Geary's probably the other one too, has really dropped out of it. He had, I think, 13 or 14 possessions to half-time. He's only had 17 for the game, so he's someone that's had a very quiet second half.
So that's Michael. He's been very good in the ruck in this last quarter. It goes out of bounds once again. So time is the enemy now for Southport. This 16-point buffer should be more than comfortable for Redland to hang on to. And the crowd's going to enjoy this one, I think. Didn't look like going their way at some points during the game. Oh, and they found another free kick for Redland, if you can believe it. Sondergeld finds Thompson. Michael chips it over the top. Pfeiffer. Let's see what he can do here. He can produce a bit of magic here. Pfeiffer elects not to take on Keller, and he's been tackled into the ground. Cars handles over the top. Salter breaks Keller's tackle once again. Pfeiffer. Chip over the top. Michael's underneath it. Courageous mark by Michael. Salter. Chip inside 50. Chopped off by Salter. Godfrey. He'd love a goal. Godfrey feeds the handball out. Sondergeld's there. Cast gets up. The ball's been batted around. Here's Brewer. Once again, lively in the forward line, but he can't get his hands on it.
The damage was really done in that 10-minute patch of the last quarter, though, where Redland's banged on those quick goals, and since then it's sort of evened out again, but as I said, the damage was done.
Maybe one of the last stoppages of the game now. Hunter. It's Salter that wins the clearance. Smith's running that one down. Well done by... Oh, is that deliberate? No, it's out in the full, so it is a free kick to Redland. If we were to count the amount of free kicks Redland's had in this last quarter, I think it'd be basically the catalyst for this last quarter surge.
For the game, it's 23-15 in favour of the home team.
Yeah.
And you would have thought they've had at least half a dozen in this last quarter, haven't we, in favour of Redland?
Well, it's probably fair enough. They've had their hands on the footy first more, and
getting to the ball first. Yep.
So Shreve's kick gets spoiled over the line.
Certainly they've dominated the clearances, 48-34. They've led disposals, so it's been a really good team performance from Redlands, I think, today.
Yeah, 375 disposals to the Bombers and 319 to the Sharks, so it's almost worth a couple of extra players, isn't it?
And another turnover by Southport. So Hunter can take his time here. Puts it to the flank. Nearly a strong mark by Salter. Stephen gets tackled.
It's just the way Redland have been able to structure their forward line to make the most of what they've got down there, given the fact they haven't got the two usual targets. It's just been an amazing effort.
And there's the siren. The crowd goes up. What a great win for Redland. Such an exciting game. Every quarter there was a different lead change, and you feel like Redland were the team that deserved to run away with the points, don't you?
Yeah, certainly will. Just the surges they managed to put together when they were dominant, they managed to put it on the board, and maybe early in the game when Southport had the run of the play, they weren't quite able to do the same.
Well, at the end of the game, it turns out to be a matter of accuracy, as Redland 15-11-101 defeats Southport 12-13-85. And who are your best, Craig?
Oh, look, for Redland, I mean, they've got a host of guys that racked up some decent possessions. Andrew Scott had 28. Blake Passfield had 26, Rogerson 25, Brewer 25, Cast 23, Solder 22 and Matty Thompson 20. For the Sharks, 5 guys got into the 20s, Jason Burge 28, Fraser Pope 26, spent a lot of time forward in the last quarter. Luke Shreve 23, Todd Grayson 22 and Collison 20. But probably those key indicators were the clearances, really. When you look at Redland, they had 49 to 35 clearances, and a lot of that came in the last quarter, Liam, where they were able to get away from the stoppages, give their small, improvised forward line first use of the football, and really made the most of it there in the last quarter, outscoring the opposition 6 goals, 3-2 in the last quarter. So a really good finish for Redland. They've been threatening all year as being the hardest running team and being able to out-endure the opposition, and again that was on display today to get ahead of the Sharks.
Yeah, I think just the last point to make is you mentioned the clearance numbers, and clearances are something that Southport absolutely pride themselves on, and I think Greg Seaton-Lonsdale will be absolutely rapt that they were able to dominate that area so convincingly against, I guess, the team in the competition that's most renowned for their inside work.
I'll tell you the one stat today which was amazing is Southport had 62 tackles and Redland 42. I mean, that's the combined total of 104 was absolutely phenomenal. That was such a high tackling game, and both teams are going to be very, very exhausted tonight. As it turned out, Redland had the legs to keep going, but tackling's a very labour-intensive way to play a game of footy, but you have to do it, and both teams are going to be very, very fatigued this afternoon.
And I think the greatest compliment you can pay to both of them is that I think we'll certainly be seeing them at the business end of the season. Southport by no means disgraced today. If they'd kicked straighter early on, you never know. But it was a great performance in the end by Redlands.
Well, we said it in the first quarter. It looked like the accuracy early on was going to kill them, and in the end, it might have been the thing that did it. So Southport get their first loss of the season. Redland get their third win, so they're 3-0, which is a very good start to the season for them. They're the form team in Queensland. And we're going to leave you from Casheezi Park. I've been Will Ralston with Craig Starcevich and Liam Dettering. It is Redland's 16-point winners. Thanks for watching NEAFL TV.